Hey everybody, it's Chef Gibby over at Metastock. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you're doing well today. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. That helps a great deal. We appreciate it. We're working on getting to 70,000 subscribers. And man, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. It does help us. We do appreciate it. And it's good to see you today. Let's start. We're going to go ahead and kick off with a good legal disclaimer. I know you love these. Today's demonstration is designed to instruct you on using Metastock and the accompanying software plugins. It's not a recommendation to buy or sell, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. Metastock should have no liability for any investment decisions based on the use of the software, any trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with the company. As another note, I actually used a little bit of an older disclaimer, but I also want you to know, or our lawyers want you to know, that we're not paid to endorse any security. It's not something that we do. We're not endorsing any specific buy or sell for a security. It's not our business model. And anything that we take, with anything that we say today shouldn't be taken as advice to buy or sell any given security. So, and with that all being said, our speaker today is Dan Passarelli. I remember meeting Dan a number of years at the Traders Expo, and he's great. He's written 2 books on options. One's called Trading Options on Greeks, and the other one is called The Market Taker's Edge. One of the things that's always kind of stood out for me with Dan is just how smart he is and how he's a really, really smart guy. The theory that he's going to talk about, I kind of talked a little bit before the YouTube came online, but it's called the red-green knockout strategy, and it's fantastic. You're going to enjoy it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get him in here. Dan, let's go ahead and get you started.
Hey, Jeff, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am doing great. And of course, I consider you a friend.
Yeah, I'm winning today. That's awesome. I just sent you that I can see you. Okay, I can see everything. So the screen share looks good. You look good, of course. And the audio sounds good. So my job here is done for now. It's your turn.
All right. Well, how are you today, folks? Are you feeling good? I'm Dan Passarelli, and I am so glad to be with you right here, right now, in this training at this very moment. And I'm honored to have this opportunity to speak with you about this key way that I've simplified my trading. It's the easiest, most straightforward system that Market Taker has ever created, and I'm very excited to share with you today. I have my own disclaimer. Before we get started, you should read characteristics and risks of standardized options before trading. You can get a copy of that by emailing investorservices@theocc.com. So momentum trades are a totally classic trade. Like thousands of traders have collectively made billions of dollars trading momentum trades over the years, right? And the beauty of it is, the concept behind it's really easy. All you have to do is identify the setup, see when the trade triggers, get a confirmation, and set a price target. At the end of this presentation, you will be able to easily identify this specific momentum system. I was listening to a podcast not too long ago, and they were talking about the difference between mindset and skill set. Both are important. Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And there's something to that, isn't there? So I thought, how can I make one of those things, the mindset or the skill set, really simple? How can I do a lot of the work for our traders so that you don't have to focus on both of these things at the same time? So I put my time into the only one of those that I can pretty much do entirely for you, and that's the skill set. I put this into a system that if you follow along, you don't really need much skill at all. The skill part is built right into the system. So now all you have to do to move forward in reaching your goals is to think you can. This is my promise to you. I'm going to share with you how to easily spot high profit momentum trade opportunities using stocks, ETFs, options, futures, or Forex. So your trading is completely simplified using this tested, evolved trading system that we've created for our traders that hundreds of our students have used to go from that demoralized feeling we've all felt at some time to that feeling of satisfaction and self-assurance that we all know is possible. And at the end of this presentation, I'll share how you can take the next step so you can start getting immediate results. What do you say? Is that a fair deal? Why don't you go and hit that questions box for me and tell me if you're liking this. Is that a pretty fair deal? Hit that questions box and give me a big old yes here for me, will you? Jennifer says yes. Thomas says yes. Charles says yes. Ivan says yes. Max says yes. Ashley says yes. Okay, great. Now, in order for you to get the most out of this, I ask that throughout this training and afterwards, make this about you, okay? Consider turning off your cell phone, closing Facebook and all your open tabs, and if you have a busy house, shut the door of the room you're in. Let yourself get immersed in what I'm about to share. Let it become part of you. Let it in. And be sure to stay till the end of this training. The most important things I'll share come later. And to keep the focus, I'm going to hold all questions. If you have a question, please write it down and I will get to them all. So that said, let's keep it positive. Let's have some fun. So Jeff gave me a kind introduction. This gives you an idea of who I am, what I do, some of the organizations I've worked with. I wrote 2 of the most popular books on option trading. I've worked with every major options broker in the US and abroad, as well as pretty much all the options exchanges in the world as well. And I get to be on TV a lot, which is kind of fun. I got my start down on the trading floor of the Chicago Board Options Exchange. I traded there for years. These pictures literally span about 30 years of being involved with the trading floor. I traded some huge stocks like Ford Motor Company, AT&T, Carnival Cruise Lines. I traded some little ones that no one's ever heard of. And a little secret here, the little stocks that no one's ever heard of is where you can make the big money when you know about opportunities that no one else does. So now I want to jump into a discovery I made. Does anyone know what this formula is? Does anyone know what this formula is? No? Okay, well, good, because we're not going to talk about it again during this presentation. We don't need to. And here's why. I have an extensive background in trading, but the fact is I am no mathematical genius. Would you mind if I share a short story with you about when I was in high school? Hit that questions box for me and give me a yes. Would it be okay? Would it be okay if I share a short personal story with you? Ashley says yes, and Max says yes, and Jennifer says yes. Okay, good. So when I was a kid, I'm not going to lie to you, I was a bit of a punk sometimes. Seriously, I got good grades. I didn't really have to study usually, but this is a story about a time when maybe I should have. In my senior year of high school, in my advanced math class, instead of paying attention to the lecture, I and a few of the other kids, well, we'd play poker. That's all we did, all hour long, the whole class. And man, I made a lot of money in that class. But the problem is, with math, it builds. If you miss something this week, you're lost next week and you're hopeless the week after that. So needless to say, I didn't learn a lot of advanced algebra concepts that year. I crammed, I passed, but I didn't learn much. So fast forward to my freshman year of college, and I had to take an algebra refresher course. Yeah, it was embarrassing. I always prided myself on, being smart. The algebra is not that tough, but I had to take a refresher. Now, one thing you may not know about me is that I was actually the first Passarelli to graduate college. And I almost wasn't. Here's where the story gets a little interesting. Now, I am a kind of a competitive guy, okay? So my sophomore year of college, my cousin, Michael Passarelli, who was 1 year younger than me, was in my calculus class. Calculus! I was very intimidated by calculus. I was afraid I'd struggle. But more importantly, I knew that if I failed the class and had to retake it, my cousin Michael would be a credit ahead of me, maybe, and just maybe he would end up graduating before me. There was absolutely no chance that I was going to let this happen. So I put on my A game, man. I was ready to work as hard as I could to win. And I'm going to guess that there are some of you who can relate to that here, right? Will you do whatever you need to win? I think some of you are going to say yes. To put in the effort to succeed. Yeah, well, me too. But there was one other factor that came into play that was the saving grace. I had a great teacher, one that I could relate to. He made it easy for me to learn, and I did. I ended up acing calculus and had the honor of being the first in my extended family to graduate college. Thank you very much. Now, like I said, I'm no mathematical genius by nature, but I've spent a lot of time in option trading, 30 years, and I do whatever it takes to create trading systems for myself and for you. So I studied the math of things like relative strength index to see how they tick. And I realized that there's some keys within these equations that can predict when momentum is likely to continue. Now I'm going to share that hack with you. The concept of RSI is up strength versus down strength. And the uses are too much up strength can lead to overbought, which can lead to a reversal. So the hack is there's certain patterns that can prevent that momentum from burning out and lead to continuation higher. Discovering this specific pattern wasn't a fast process, and it wasn't easy. It took years until I evolved the system, and my results proved that I had a winning strategy, and we continue to improve upon it. I put in the investment for myself and for you, because now it's finally time for me to share it with you. So this is called the red knockout, and it's a momentum trading strategy that can lead to outsized profits. It's this very simple 4-part chart pattern, very easy to identify, and the profit targets are easily set. We can use it with options, stocks, ETFs, indexes, futures, or even foreign exchange. So let me start by listing the steps in the red knockout, and then we'll zoom in and we'll go through some examples. So this is important. Write this down. Step 1 is the setup candles. That is 3 or more green candles that make up the green run. Second is the red knockout, or the RKO candle, a red candle with a smaller body than each of the 3 preceding green candles. Then, if the pattern keeps going, we get a trigger candle, which is a green candle that takes out the high of the red candle's high on higher volume. Finally, we get the confirmation candle, the candle that opens above the high of the RKO candle. And if we get that, that signals trade entry. So let's break the strategy down step by step, and let's go through how it works. So step 1, do you remember what step 1 is? It's the green run. That is when we get 3 or more consecutive green up day candles. Okay, and here's an example on Metastock. 1, 2, 3. What's step 2? Do you remember step 2? That's the red knockout candle, or also called the RKO. That is a red candle immediately following the green run with a smaller body than each of the previous green candles. And we see that. Here is the width of the bodies of the green candles. And we see this little almost doji of a red candle, smaller body than each of the 3 green ones, right? Okay, Step 3, you remember what that is? The trigger candle. So this is a green candle that takes out the high of the red candle. See how this one trades above the high of the red candle? That triggers the trade. And then finally, if we get the complete setup, we get the confirmation candle. That is a candle that opens above the high of the RKO, which, as you can see, it does. And if we get that candle, that signals trade entry. Let's go through some examples. This is Bloom Energy Corp. If we have a red knockout setup, okay, it's quiz time. What is the first step we look for? Do you remember? The setup candles. The setup candles, 3 or more green update candles in a row. Do you see that on the chart anywhere? Look here. Here's one. Here's the first of 3 green setup candles. See that? We've got this one, the next one that's higher, and then we've got this one here, the third one that is still higher. So we might also call this the green run. That establishes that the trade is setting up. Okay, are you getting this? Now, what's step 2? Do you remember? Do you remember what it is? It's the red knockout candle, or the RKO. If a red knockout candle shows up on the chart, it is easy to identify, and it means the setup might be materializing. The RKO is a small-bodied candle, a smaller body than each of the 3 green setup candles that could open higher or lower, but the key is that it's down from the open, thus it is red. Okay? Step 3 is the trigger candle shown by, I drew a little yellow arrow right there. That triggers that the trade is indeed setting up and you're getting ready to time your entry. We call this the trigger candle, and it's sort of like when a marksman is all set to fire upon the target and he gets his finger on the trigger, getting ready to take that shot. And then finally, step 4 is the confirmation candle, and that means the trade is confirmed. It's got a green arrow. Green means go, fire away. Now, let's slow this all down a little bit. Let's go over the roles of each of the 4 components of this strategy. So, okay, first we've got the setup candles that make up the green run. And this is what sets up like a mini trend, okay? A green candle means that the closing price is higher than it was when it opened. So it opened here and it closed here. It might have traded a little above the close, might have traded a little below the open, but it opened here and it closed here. The next candle opened here and closed here, so it's green also. But also its closing price is above yesterday's closing price. This one opened here, closed here, so it's green. It's up on the day and it closed higher than yesterday's candle. So there's 2 things. It's green because it's up on the day, and it's an up day relative to yesterday's close. 2 different concepts, and we need them both. All right, so the red knockout, look, 3 green update candles in a row doesn't necessarily mean that the stock is going to go to the moon. We need to see if the other criteria happens. And we don't want this to just get burned out by too much momentum. And if it does, that's fine. We just skip it. We go on to a different trade. But a lot of the time, in fact, really all of the time, like I've never seen like 20 green update candles in a row. There's always somewhat of a pullback, somewhat of a breather that gives other people who maybe missed the beginning of it the chance to get back in. And that can drive the price even higher. So this is just a little breather, okay? A little breather where it just pulls back a little bit. And then the next day, people see this and they jump on and it starts continuing the pattern, okay? again, this is the trigger candle. This triggers that, okay, we do have something setting up here. After just the first three, it's still inconclusive. After just the RKO, still inconclusive. Now we are entering into RKO territory. And then, of course, we get the confirmation candle, which confirms that, yes, this is ready to go. Then it's 1, 2, 3, go. All right. Now let's go through several examples to see how this might play out in real life. So this is Thomson Reuters. First of all, if there's an RKO setup here, is it on this chart anywhere? Do you see it anywhere? Do you see one? Do you see one? Okay, right there. Nice work. Here's the first one, and here's the second one. Okay. Do we have an RKO? Because we might not. We might just have 3 candles in a row and, nothing might happen. But we do have one. This little breather with a little body to it. Then the trend continues. And then we're able to jump on and profit. So if we follow our profit rules, which I will go over in a second, we would actually take it off here. Okay? We'd actually hit this area a little bit sooner. We'd probably take it off about here. But this is the level. I want you to see the line right here, because what we do is we calculate out our profit targets. And I'll show you how to do all that in just a few minutes here. So how about here in Humana? Is there an RKO setup here? Anywhere? Look closely, look closely, look closely. Yes, there is. In fact, this is one that has 6 setup candles. Again, we can have 3 or more. We start the green run here and end here. Next comes our red knockout, very, very small body. And why is it called the red knockout? In any trend, there's this pullback. And in case of this mini pullback, it's just enough to enable other traders who missed the green run move to get in and provide some follows through. So the red candle just gets knocked out of the pattern. And then we look for continuation. That's why it's called that. And that's just what we get right here, the trigger candle. And we always want to wait one more day. And that's why we have this confirmation candle, because we want to be as sure as we can that this is a trend that is likely to continue. Now, we always prefer to time the entry close to the open. I find, at least anecdotally, that more often than not, if we've got this playing out, this ends up being a green candle, meaning that it closes higher than where it opened. So I think there's a little bit of an edge getting in close to the open. I don't always, but I usually do. I usually try to, so I can get that extra, that extra run. And then we set our target and we mathematically calculate that. And we enter our profit taking limit order and we do our risk management. Let's go through some more examples. In fact, let's check out the sleek dark screen, which is pretty cool, huh? Right? This is APEI stock. And if we look here, and here we have a 3 setup candle green run. It's followed by the classic RKO. Why is it classic? I mean, look, it's got the smaller body. It fits, exactly into what we're talking about here. It's engulfed by the previous green candle, this body is, which means it's a smaller range. It didn't trade lower in this case, which it can. But, this is just like a nice, clean little pullback. Then we get the trigger candle. So the RKO did trigger. We just want to make sure that it's confirmed before getting in. And we get the confirmation, then it's 1, 2, 3, go. So what I like about this one, by the way, this APEI exit is that it's only an $11 stock. So folks who don't trade options, I mean, you can just buy the shares and you can even take a bigger position with this, right? Though the options in this case are actually pretty liquid too. They're liquid enough so if you want to use leverage of options, you can do that as well. Like this gives you a lot of flexibility. In fact, the RKO indicator works on all time frames. It's versatile for day traders, swing traders, short-term traders, even long-term investors can use this. Now, when I worked on improving what criteria to use for the setup candles, red knockout candles, trigger candles, and confirmation candles, I spent a lot of time on it. And it was a great and humbling experience. And it reminded me of my old boss, Steve Fawcett. So you see two people here, right? Who are these two people? Can anybody tell me who are these two people in this picture? Let's see who's quick. Let's see who's quick on the draw. Trader's got to be quick, right? Who is it? Who is it? Okay, right. So this one, of course, is Sir Richard Branson. Not just Richard Branson, it's Sir Richard Branson. And the other one is Steve Fawcett. Now, for those of you who don't know who Steve Fawcett, the late Steve Fawcett was, he was not only a famous trader, but also a famous adventurer. He held many world records. He attempted to sell one flying around the world in a hot air balloon with Richard Branson. That's why we have this picture. So I remember one day Steve took all his traders out to dinner. And there were about 45 of us. And after dinner, he asked us, why do you trade? It's not about the money or whatever, like the real reason. Why do you trade? I mean, look, as floor traders, standing all day long, your feet hurt, your back hurt, there are people yelling in your ear, getting their spit on you when they yell. Like, why do you trade? What's your real reason? Is it to have more freedom, to take time off and play golf or something? Or is it to secure your retirement or to put your kids through college? And that stuck with me. So I ask you, hit that questions box for me. What is your reason for trading? Please share. Hit that questions box now. And I know some of the folks on YouTube, I don't know if I end up seeing all the answers here or anything, but I'm curious. What are your reasons? What is your one major reason for trading? Max says, put my kids through college. Okay, yeah, great. I love it. Yep, that was a big part of my thing. It's a fun hobby. Right, exactly. It is. It's like one of these things that requires thought. Instead of doing the crossword puzzle in the morning, you can do this, and you know the crossword puzzle doesn't pay you for doing it. There's lots of great reasons for this. Saving for retirement, says Ashley. Excellent. I love it. So anyway, Steve was a great mentor. Without having him in my life coaching me, I could not have become the trader that I am today. But there's one thing that Steve was known for saying. I'm still learning. When I met Steve, he was a gazillionaire, super successful trader. But he was always tweaking his process, always learning, always moving forward, always making his trading better for himself and his traders. And I'm thankful for that because I was one of his traders, but he kept improving. So I also started the process of improving the exit point. And here is how that works. Setting these price targets is really easy. Here's how the price target is calculated. We're looking for, after the red knockout candle, we're looking for a repeat of the green run. So we take the low of the first green setup candle and subtract that from the high of the last green setup candle. We take that sum and multiply it by a haircut, which is like a little, like 80% of that range, 90% of that range. And we add that to the high of the RKO candle. So let's talk about this haircut, right? So if we're looking for that range, you know, we get this range and then we've got the RKO candle. We look for it to repeat itself. We don't want to be too greedy. We want to get more winners and get out a little faster. So instead of looking for 100% of that range, we might look for 90% of it or 80% of it. And that's what the haircut is, just to help ensure that, we have more winners and get those winners locked in. So immediately after buying the stock, we're going to set a profit-taking good till cancel order, and also a possible stop loss order, good till canceled, OCO, which means that if I get filled on the profit-taking order, it cancels the stop loss order. If I get filled on the stop loss order, it cancels the profit-taking order. I say possible stop loss because we do that if we're using calls or if we're just buying the shares. But if we're buying a call spread, which we will sometimes, and that's all explained in a video, we're not going to use the stop loss. We're going to manage it a little bit differently. The key is that all these rules are all set up, so you don't have any guessing. It is a very complete, holistic system. Work the system works. And by the way, if you're not familiar with some of these terms or exactly how to do some of these things, later I'll share how you can easily do all this to make your exit super simple and the whole thing super simple. I want you to leave here today with all the tools you need to be massively successful with this. And I bet you do too, right? Would you like me to share with you what we've discovered makes RKO even better? Yeah? Well, I'll tell you what. There are a couple of things that we can add to this. One is we're going to add to an RSI. Two, we're also going to add the 200, and write this down, take notes on this, the 200-day, the 50-day, and the 21-day moving averages. If the RKO setup crosses through any of those moving averages at any time, that makes it an even stronger signal. In summary, there are a few important takeaways. Momentum trades can yield outsized profits. And this is a time-tested, evolved system. So we have the setup candles, red knockout candle, trigger candle, confirmation candle, and we can easily calculate the price target. But there's a problem. There are 6,366 stocks to trade. If it takes you, say, 45 seconds, like you pull up a chart and it takes you 45 seconds to spot an RKO on the chart, 45 seconds times 6,366 stocks that you can trade, that would take you about 80 hours a day to go through all the opportunities that are out there. And that's only looking on one time frame. You don't like missing opportunities, do you? There's got to be a better way than flipping through all those stocks, hoping to hopefully find one of these. And I bet you know that there's a better way, right? You wouldn't be here right now if there wasn't a better way. So, are you ready for it? The RKO system is officially here. Over the past 3 years, we've created both a scanner that would easily identify RKO trades, as well as an indicator that displays the patterns right on the chart along with the price target. We wanted to make it so simple, it's impossible to mess up. So let's first talk about who this is not for. This is not for people looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. I mean, just to be clear, you can make a lot of money with this in a short period of time, but it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is just not that kind of strategy. This is about having more consistency in your trading. This is also not for people who like spending hours and hours going through thousands and thousands of charts to hopefully come across a halfway decent trade. This is the fast track. Your time's valuable. These trades can literally be made in a minute because all the information is right there on the chart and the scanner finds them for you. Now, this is also not for wishy-washy procrastinators, overthinkers, wishy-washy people who see a good investment but can't make a decision to save their lives. They don't make good traders. And I know that's not you because you've invested your time in being here today. Because let me tell you who this is for. This is for you. If you want your trading to be easier and less time consuming, this is for you. If either you're new to options and want a simple, easy to follow system, or you're experienced and you want to increase your number of trade candidates without spending more time. This is for you if you can follow a few simple steps. And this is for you if you're willing to invest in yourself. Because you now have a new opportunity to easily scan for top momentum trades that you would not be able to find without this screener. To easily visualize when an RKO trade is set up, when to enter the trade, and where the price target is. With well over 6,000 stocks out there, it's almost impossible to just happen to come across one of these great setups. But with this easy to use one-step scanner, it makes it possible because I've made the investment for you. You see, look, I know what it's like to struggle as a trader in the market. I've had the pleasure of training thousands and thousands of traders, and I wanted to develop a scanner that made it very easy to find profitable trades with great potential. And even for myself, before creating the RKO system, I would come across one of these RKO setups maybe once every 6 months. I would miss so many opportunities because I just can't look at that many stocks. But finally, I've invested both the time and money to develop this simple, easy to use scanner that you can harness in just 3 easy steps. Imagine what your trading account would look like if you could just sit in front of your charting software and have a powerful trading tool that identified both the trade entry and exit points in just seconds. And imagine if you could block out all the noise in the market and only focus on trades that have been identified for you. What would that mean to your trading business? Well, that's exactly what the RKO scanner does for you. These are some examples of the trades, both entries and exits, identified by the RKO scanner and displayed by the RKO indicator. On the left are stock trades, on the right are options. On February 1st in INDY, a stock trader could have bought the stock at $7.87 and 9 days later sold it at up to $9.39. It's a 19.3% profit. On April 3rd in CNK, a stock trader could have bought the stock at $14.55 and sold it at up to $16.56 just 3 days later, locking in a 13% profit, 13.8% profit. That's in just 7 days. In the options, in TTD, a trader could have bought the February 52 calls at $3.30 and sold them 3 days later at $6.95 for, that's a 110.6% profit. And if a trader bought, like, just to make it more tangible, if a trader bought like 5 of those calls, he or she would have made $1,825 in profit. I mean, look at these. Even if you make, say, 3 of these a week and your results are half as good, how much impact can this have on you and your family's financial future? Really, right? Start getting the results that you deserve. So this is Nick, our head coach, John, who's a brilliant guy, ex-Goldman guy. John and I shared what we were creating with Nick. Nick was one of the first humans ever to see the RKO. And in fact, he was extremely instrumental in helping us. Nick said, using scanners, in particular, the RKO Daily helps me find trades when I'm busy or might not be fully locked in the market. I run the scanner and do the checks and decide to take the trade or move on. It only takes a few minutes and helps me identify the best trades consistently. I want to invite you to join us and start using the RKO system right away. So first, you're going to get the Red Knockout Scanner. So every day, you'll be able to have a list of the RKO trades available in the market at that time. This simple scanner searches the universe of over 6,000 stocks for the setup and makes it possible to find trades you would never have access to without it. For you to profit with the RKO system, I need you to know how it works. So I created a video training course that shows you step by step exactly how to install it on your platform, how and why the RKO system works, how to set up the trades, the filters and cross scans to optimize the strategy, and of course, the targets and trade management. So what this means is today, first you're going to get the Red Knockout system, the scanner, and then you're also going to get the RKO Accelerator video course so that you're going to get up and running right away. Now look, I can put the tools in your hands. I can tell you how to use them. But I know for me, I learn faster when someone shows me exactly how to do it. So the best thing I can do for you is give you hands-on training. Every Friday for the next year, 1 full year, you're going to attend our online group coaching class and watch John Kamisic set up RKO and other trades right there while you watch. Now, John is formerly with Goldman Sachs, First Options of Chicago, Lind Waldock. He traded for a hedge fund and is the expert on the Red Knockout. In fact, he helped me develop it. He's just the kind of person that you want to listen to. But I wanted to make sure that you hit the ground running and get the hands-on training to start getting immediate results. This is Dennis Meisel from East Peoria, Illinois. He says, thanks, great class, exactly what I was looking for. The class gave me a lot of insights into options and the Greeks. I'm a fairly new trader, but I've been putting in the work to move my skills forward. I mean, look, how would it feel to have the top option trades in the market picked for you every day by an ex-Goldman Sachs guy, John Kamisic? How would that feel? So what this means is first you're going to get the Red Knockout system. You're going to get the RKO Accelerator video course, get up and running fast. And you're going to get once a week hands-on training from an ex-Goldman Sachs guy. That's a $5,247 valued package. Do you mind if I over-deliver? What I really want is for you to make as much money as possible trading the RKO. And I imagine you do too. So every day, we're going to rank the day's RKO trades and list them out and give you our top RKO picks so that you can see what we're thinking are the best of the best. This is the RKO watch list, and it's a $1,297 value. Plus, John will add a bonus trade every day from his daily group coaching class so you can diversify your trading and get all the top trades of the day by simply clicking one link to access your curated watch list. So that means you're going to get the scanner, the Red Knockout system, the accelerator video course, the hands-on training, and we're going to tell you which ones are the best of the best that we would like to trade. Finally, this completes everything you need to make the RKO simple to trade. With the RKO indicator, we literally put the arrows right on your chart to show you the trigger candle, the confirmation candle, and even the exit price target. So all the information is laid out for you. Like, this could not be easier. So this means you're going to get the scanner and the Red Knockout system up and running fast with the accelerator course, hands-on training with group coaching. We're going to tell you which are the best of the best with some free bonus trades. And it's going to be right there on your chart so that you can see it immediately and trade it immediately. Plus, you're going to get updates every time we optimize the strategy to make it better for 1 full year. This is a $7,541 value. RKO works on the following platforms: Metastock and a whole bunch of other ones. Now, I know you're Metastock users. This works fantastic on Metastock. Now, also, one more thing. You may have noticed the red knockout trades are all for when the stock is rising. And for that reason, these tend to work better in bullish markets. But hey, the market doesn't always go up, and not all stocks always go up. In fact, some can have some pretty big bearish moves. And so I've also created the green knockout to double your chances of success. So today you'll get both the red knockout and the green knockout, so you'll have the tools you need to trade in any market, up or down. So you're going to get the red knockout system so you can scan for it. You're going to get up and running fast with the accelerator videos. You're going to get hands-on training. We're going to tell you which are the best. We're going to give you the indicator right there on the chart. And we're going to do all these things for bearish markets too, so you can trade any market up or down. Plus, like I said, you're going to get updates when we make them. Buy now. You can see why the RKO trading system, I mean, it's a steal even at $10,041. I mean, look, if all this did for you was identify trades that had, profit potentials of 110% or, 54% or whatever, the question you need to ask yourself is, would it be worth it? And that answer is yes. But you're not going to pay $10,041 today. Because you've made the investment on being here live on this training, and for being one of my action takers, you are the elite. You're better than millions of other traders out there, and I want you to have the results that you deserve. Get started today for a one-time small, easy investment of only $997 by going to markettaker.com/meta. 1, 2, 3, go. That's market, like stock market, taker, like take what's rightfully yours, 2 T's in a row, markettaker.com/meta. Right now, that will direct you to the page on Metastock's website. But to get all these bonuses, including the green knockout, to maximize your success in any market condition, you have to be one of the first 25 new members today. And you have to take massive action by going to markettaker.com/meta. Now, just to recap one more time, when you open your browser and go to markettaker.com/meta and sign up today, you're going to get access to the red knockout scanner that's going to identify the trades with the entry points and exit points. On top of that, when you're one of the first 25 and you get all these bonuses, you're going to get up and running fast with the accelerator video course. You're going to get the hands-on training with the weekly group coaching. You're going to see which trades are the best of the best with the RKO watch list. We're going to put the indicator right there on the chart so you can easily identify it. And you're going to get all this with the green knockout as well. So I've been talking for about 50 minutes. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. If you're in the process of completing the online enrollment, finish that up, because I want to get a count of how many people have joined us. And I'm going to let you know how many people have joined us. I'm going to welcome the new people who have joined us, as a matter of fact. So if you're in the process of completing that, do so. If you're not, go to markettaker.com/meta. That'll direct you to the Metastock site. Or if you have questions, you can call 800-882-3040, 800-882-3040, and the operators standing by will be there to answer your questions to help you make the decision to come and join us. Let me take a quick sip of water here. And I can see we've had Ashley join us. Welcome. Congratulations, Ashley. Stephen has joined us. Welcome. Congratulations, Steve. Great job. Nice job moving forward today. Verisk, I hope I said that right. Welcome, congratulations. Welcome and congratulations to Peter. Nice job stepping up, investing in yourself today. I love it. I'm going to welcome the rest of the folks once we have a couple more people join us here. In the meantime, if you have questions about the RKO, first of all, you can call that number. You can also go to metastock.com/sales chat and get your questions answered. But I will answer your questions live to help you make the decision to come and join us. So while I'm waiting for your questions, first, I'm going to read some frequently asked questions. What if I can't install it properly? We send step-by-step instructions on how to use it. Is it time consuming? No, that is the whole point. You literally don't have enough time in a day to find the RKOs out there. You literally don't have time in a day. And I know you have a busy schedule. I've designed RKOs so you can literally trade this system in about 60 seconds. You just do the scan, look at the chart, and trade it. What if I can't figure it out? You're getting a video tutorial, the accelerator videos, which are 4 short videos to get you up and running fast, very clear instructions, plus the hands-on training live every Friday morning. What time is the weekly group coaching every Friday morning? Well, it's live every Friday from 9 to 10 Central, which is 10 to 11 Eastern. And the class is recorded in case that time is not convenient. Now, another question I get is, Dan, I can see, I have a small account. I can see that this is a great way to grow that small account, but a lot of my capital is tied up in my account. Is there a way to finance this? And that answer is yes. We have a deal with PayPal to offer you both PayPal as a payment option and PayPal credit. So you can lock in the red knockout today when you check out using PayPal and just choose PayPal credit. How do you do it? Just simply go to markettaker.com/meta and click the PayPal button to get started right now. Or, of course, you can call 800-882-3040. That's 800-882-3040. Or like I mentioned, if you just want to chat, you can go to metastock.com/sales chat. All right, now I'm going to take some questions from you. If you have a question that I can answer to help you make the decision to come and join us, pop that in the questions box right now, and I will be happy to answer that.
Hey, Dan, I have some questions and a comment, too,
okay.
if that's all right. I wanted to also kind of point out, if you have problems installing it on Metastock, we have staff. You can give us a call. You can chat with us. We'll be happy to help with that. But here's some questions that are coming through about how many stocks can you expect on a given day with the market taker or with the regular knockout?
Yeah, great question. So I spent a lot of time thinking of how this would look and how many signals we would get a day. What I wanted to make sure didn't happen is that, you got 100 signals and you had to be there scratching your head wondering which one to do. I also wanted to make sure that you didn't get 0 signals because we want to give you the best trades, make sure they show up. So we fine-tuned it and we got it down so that you'll get typically anywhere from about 2 to 10 RKO signals a day. Now, it varies with market conditions. When the markets are very, very bullish and there's a lot of momentum in the broad market, you're likely to get more RKO signals. When the market tends to be going down and there's a lot of downward momentum, you'll get more GKO signals, where instead of buying calls or short or buying stock, you're going to buy puts or put spreads. So yeah, there's the answer. Anywhere from about 2 to 10 a day typically.
Oh, here's a question that came in. Venue wants to know, I'd like to try it. Is there a way to test it out before fully committing? We don't have a subscription option, Venue, but we do offer this with a money-back guarantee. You have 30 days to evaluate it. So here's another question that comes through. How long is the accelerator course?
Yeah, so there are 4 short videos. They're on average about 10 minutes. I want to say like one's 8 minutes, one's 12 minutes. So they're like nice little bite-sized chunks, perfect for, the typical attention span, I think. You can watch one, watch another one, get it set up, and you're off to the races.
Cool. How long do you generally hold an options trade for?
Yeah, so the trades can go anywhere from, intraday, which is not very common, but they can, to maybe a week or two. But really, what it is when we hit that mathematically calculated profit target, that's when we're out. And if we hit our stop or if we're using a spread, we'll have a different way to manage our risk. If we hit that exit, then we're out. Everything is already predefined to take away all the guessing that can make trading, frustrating and stressful. We've made it so simple that all you have to do is just simply follow along.
All right, cool. I'm just learning, will this work with paper trading?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this will absolutely work with paper trading. Yep. In fact, I encourage you to start out that way. It's a great way to do it and get your feet wet.
That's the end of the questions, Dan.
All right, those were some great questions. So first of all,
about how do the scans work, and I'm going to actually show that in MetaStock high level. I'd like to also. Oh, wait. From a high level, I'd like to show just how the add-on works, how the commentary works, how the signaling works. I think, and I was saying this to our sales team this morning, I really, really like the way this looks. It's just pretty to me. So if you don't mind, I'm going to just take a few minutes to talk about that, kind of take over a little bit. But before I do, I wanted to thank you for the time that you put into kind of creating this, putting it together, all of that kind of stuff. It's a great little strategy. I'm going to shut off for just a minute.
Okay, great. Thanks.
All right, cool. I'm taking that as clearance that I can take over. All right, go. All right, thanks, Dan. Again, great to see you. Cool.
Okay, bye. See you, Jeff.
All right, let me go ahead and kind of just take the presentation here. Go ahead and click on this. Go ahead and show my screen, and you'll be able to see kind of that box that we put together and all that kind of stuff. What I want to do, though, is I want to switch into my MetaStock program and just kind of walk you through how this looks in MetaStock. So let me go ahead and just close this down, or just close the Power Console for now. I got a chart. I did some scanning. I was pulling up a whole bunch of charts to kind of get ready to today. And this is just one of them that came up. So I want to kind of just point out exactly what happens on a chart when you start to get kind of that red run, those higher highs with the green bars. You'll notice that as soon as you get 3 of them in a row, like you did right here, you're going to get a little bit of a indication on your chart, a little symbol that just says there's a green run in progress, right? Here you have another one because there's another green bar in a row. So you might have several in a row, but as long as you have 3 green bars in a row, you're going to have that green run. You can see here where we just initially have that green run. So it's very, very well annotated for you. You can see it. It's easy to see. It's not hard, okay? As soon as you have that red bar, you're going to actually kind of see here that it kind of shows it as a potential red knockout bar. If the trigger conditions come in, you're going to have a trigger, you're going to have an entry. All of this is labeled for you. You don't have to do anything with it, okay? As soon as you get that trigger and that entry, you're going to be able to see your profit target on here. It's all illustrated as well. And one of the things I really do like quite a bit about this is how well it's actually displayed. So if I come in here and I click on view, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the expert commentary. I'm going to just show you some of the annotations that we put together for this so that you can understand it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kind of just, when I opened up this commentary, you'll notice this little triangle. By default, it's always going to look at the very end bar. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and move it over to the red, the very start of this, it's called a green run because that's what it's called. So right here, the last 3 candles are a green run. This could develop into a red knockout pattern. The next stage of the pattern would be a red knockout candle, which must have a body smaller than the smallest candle in that green run. So if we go to the next bar, it's going to advance at 1 bar. You'll see this is a smaller body candle than any of these 3. And that's the condition for the red knockout that we're looking at. How easy is this, right? It really kind of spells it out for you. The current candle is a red knockout candle coming in after the end of the green run. This could become a red knockout pattern if the next candle is green and closes above 976. Okay, so it's really spelling out, here's what we're looking for this. We're looking for really the momentum to resume, right? So if we go to the next bar, it's going to be the trigger bar. There is a long red knockout setup currently active. The setup is triggered when the current candle opened above the high of the RKO candle. If you're looking to take advantage of this trade, you could consider these kind of deltas. The profit target should be set up. What we're looking at though, for this to actually enter is going to happen on the next day. So this is just, well, actually done. So this is the trigger bar. If we get an entry the next day, the red knockout signal pattern signals an entry on the confirmation candle on the daily chart. If you're looking to take advantage of the trade, here's the calls that you could look at. Here's a profit target. Everything's very, very well spelled out for you. And I like that quite a bit. Now, to scan, obviously with scanning in Metastock, there's a couple things that I think are cool about having this in Metastock, okay? Number 1, you can scan. Like some of the other platforms that are out there that I'm not going to mention the names, there's just no scanning that's available. Or in certain cases, like it might be a server-based scan where they ran it at like 8 o'clock last night and you're looking at yesterday's scan results. With this one, you run the scan, you run it right whenever you want it. You run it over any of the instruments in the market that you want it, and it's going to give you results as soon as the scan completes. So there are 4 different scans that are in here. You've got the knockout, the DP green knockout entry. Okay, so that'll actually just give you anything that's a confirmed entry signal, ready to go. You have the DP green knockout trigger, and what that is going to look for is this blue bar, the setup bar where it's not quite an entry, but if it meets the criteria tomorrow, it will be an entry. Okay, you've got the red knockout entry and the red knockout trigger. So again, with a scanning in Metastock, all I'd have to do is just select it, hit the start exploration. It's going to run the scan right now. It's not yesterday's results. You can run it any time. You can run it against any time frame. One of the partners that we work with likes to talk about how good our scanning is. He calls it the best scanning that's available. I agree with him. I love the scanning in Metastock. And it's nice that it's there. It's nice that it's in, that it'll go through and give you results that happen today. It's also nice because of the data that we power it with. So if you're here in the US and you want to do all the optional stocks, you can. If you're over in Asia and you want to do the Singapore markets or the Hong Kong markets, you can. If you're in India, whatever markets that you're interested in. I'm just going to point out this number right here. There's 325,887 symbols I could scan against right now. Now, a lot of those I won't personally trade, and so I wouldn't run those scans. But the scanning is very, very well built in here. It's such a good tool for doing it. So, Venue says, do you have a 30-day money-back guarantee? I did not see it. Thank you for that question. We offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all of the products that we actually sell, Venue. So if you go up there and buy it, if you don't like it, if it doesn't fit for you, you can go ahead and get a refund on it. Mohammed asks, has the RKO system been back-tested? I actually don't know the answer to that. And Dan's actually left, so I can't ask him. But I will tell you that I did a bunch of scanning today, and what was noticeable to me was how many of those actual systems that were flagged, because I went back earlier in the year, scanned a couple things, actually ended up hitting the profit target. So I'm not sure if it's been back tested, but from a less technical sense, the system actually looked really, really good as I was going through it today. So I'd recommend that you try it. If you don't like it, Mohammed, and you do try it, we'll give you a refund on it. So here's what we're going to offer. Let me go back into the PowerPoint real quick. Normal price on the red green knockout is $14.95. As Dan talked about here at the webinar, as a special, we're going to give you a $9.97 price. That's going to include all the bonuses that he talked about, this accelerated video course, the 12 months of the coaching, the 12 months of the RKO watch list. And if you need it, one of the things that we're going to throw into the whole platform is a trial to Metastock. So, if you're using like TradingView and you want it with TradingView and you buy it for TradingView, that's great. I would recommend that you also try it with Metastock, and we'll give you a free trial of Metastock to give it out. One thing I'll say about Metastock, and we'll kind of keep it short, Metastock's been rated the best software program in its price category 30 years in a row. There's a reason it's been rated #1. So even if you're buying this for one of the other supported platforms, I appreciate the order. I would encourage you to go ahead and give Metastock a try on the free trial because, well, it's free. We'll have somebody help you install it. They'll show you how to run the scans. Any questions that you have, if you ever have a question, you can give us a call. We'll help you. Our support team does a really good job. So you can give us a call. Phone number is 800-882-3040. You can also go to our website at metastock.com/RG, red green knockout RGKO, or you can chat online with us at metastock.com/saleschat. So very, very cool system. Really appreciate Dan for putting it in here. Take a look at it and see if you like it. One last thing before I go. I hope you're doing well. If you're watching us on Facebook, either on the replay or whatever, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment. We're trying to get to 70,000 subscribers, and so we really appreciate the subscribe. But it also does help quite a bit, and we appreciate it. So with all that being said, I want to say thanks for coming. It's good to see you. I hope you stay safe, stay well, and I hope I see you at the next one. Thanks for coming, guys.
Hi, Kelly Clement here from Metastock. Before you go, I have 2 quick things for you. 1, thanks for joining us today. We love having you here at our webinars and viewing our videos. So what I'd like to invite you to do before you go is like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps us a great deal, and it helps us bring you more awesome content like today's video. The second thing is we have a great ebook on trading that you can get for free. If you go to metastock.com/YouTube book, you can get a free copy of The Secrets of Successful Traders. It's a great book with lots of content from traders just like yourself who can teach you some of the secrets that they have learned. Thanks for taking a second with me and learning about those 2 things. Thanks for joining us, and keep on trading.